Hello, my name is Hajar and I am going to talk about our topic, which is China Belt and Road Initiative International Trade Impact on ASEAN Economic Integration. With the introduction, which is under China Grand Strategy to One Belt One Road Xi Jinping Chinese Dream, the mega project of Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, which is BRI, was launched in 2013 as one of the country's foreign policy to extend its influence in Asia Pacific. As the sleeping tiger Sino-centric agenda further expand in Asia, especially when binding regional cooperation with the ASEAN by funding mega projects, financing and exporting its construction of SOE to exploit the infrastructure builds, China is picking opportunities to open up offer to foreign investor in property investment, transportation, waste and water management, power, also catering for human needs such as partnership in restaurants, catering, computer services, tourism, and many others. There are five major BRI projects in ASEAN, including the Laos-Vientiane Botan Railway, Laos-Bangkok High-Speed Rail, Myanmar Kiao Piu Special Economic Zone, Indonesia MNC Lido City, and Malaysia Malacca Getaway. The BRI projects in ASEAN using the participation of the Chinese government, state-owned enterprises and private enterprises as cooperation mechanism to which the China vision to provide regional public good and facilitate partnership on overseas projects. Our objective is to illustrate the impact of the bilateral cooperation specifically on the economic prosperity gain through trade link between China and ASEAN states member and the socio-economic effect of the Belt and Road Initiative infrastructure investment. There are several positive impacts of the BRI initiative in the ASEAN region, mainly in the aspect of the economy. The BRI is seen by the ASEAN member states as an opportunity for establishing links with the development of infrastructure that will increase trade and investment in the region through improved connectivity. The ASEAN member states are thus developing infrastructure projects mainly through joint ventures in partnership with Chinese companies. For example, under projects like Bangkok Nakhon Ratchasima Railway in Thailand, and R55 Road in Cambodia, and the Malacca Getaway Port in Malaysia. Furthermore, in terms of trade, China and ASEAN have seen a surge in bilateral trade in recent times. The amount of China-ASEAN trade roses to almost $500 billion in 2015. Since 2009, China has also been the largest trading partner of ASEAN, while ASEAN has been the third largest trading partner of China since 2011. Moreover, after the completion of many projects such as the Muara Terminal project in Brunei, the Malacca Getaway project, and the Morowali Industrial Park in Indonesia, further rises in FDI inflows will be seen. Investment and trade in goods to enjoy a significant positive surge, with the importation of building materials from China increased to accumulate the BRI projects in the ASEAN region. In conclusion, for this positive impact, the BRI is aimed at encouraging bilateral economic ties between China and the ASEAN region. Although the projects and joint ventures under the BRI initiative are bringing change towards the region in adequate infrastructure, it also promotes bilateral trade and multi-investment between China and the ASEAN region, whether in goods or services. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Khaitrisyia. So my part, I will explain about the negative impact of China's Road Initiative (BRI) on ASEAN economy. It cannot be denied that countries that were involved with BRI projects shows a positive impact in the economic growth. However, the financing of BRI projects may drive ASEAN's countries to unsustainable debt, and to the worst situation, it can lead to the debt trap. For instance, the involvement of Laos in the high-speed railway project is equivalent 40% of their GDP. The economic observers view that Laos is on the track to the China's debt trap, where 65% of the government's debt is received from the bilateral creditors, which is China. Laos' debt increased to above 60% of the GDP, and it was expected that Laos might have difficulty to pay off the 20% of their share in the high-speed railway project. When a country falls into the debt trap, this will open an opportunity for the creditors to control the indebted country's economic sovereignty. BRI project is not about the flow capital and investments only, despite it also involves trade in goods and services where the goods for BRI projects will be imported from China to ASEAN, and on the ground of this, BRI can lead to the imbalance of trade. This is due to the fact that the trade of goods and services will be more on China's favor since the country was the one that proposed the BRI, and it will continue at least until the BRI projects complete. According to the report by CIMB ASEAN from 2010, China has imported goods related to constructions, and the importations show an increasing trend until 2017 with the virtue of BRI, and it was expected to keep rising until the BRI projects complete. For that reason, trade status of ASEAN will change, and it will become a trade deficit where import of goods from China exceeds the export. On a final note, the Belt and Road Initiative reflects the new regional geopolitical reality. The things that remain now is the individual states of ASEAN must ensure that they will not fall into the debt trap and indirectly create a master-client relationship with China, and must strive to avoid subservience. Other than that, to achieve the balance in trade of goods and services, ASEAN states should increase the exports to China. In conclusion, according to the report by Singh from 2017 in Jingning's speech that the beginning is the most difficult part, meaning there is many difficulties in launching BRI project, as it is in a starting phase of BRI that now been working for almost 7 years. Besides, BRI a long-term project that has started since 2013. In this essay that highlighted about both perspective of positive and negative side effect on BRI on ASEAN perspective economy. One of the positive parts that BRI has given huge impact to ASEAN in economic sector includes Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, and others. However, this project is very enormous that it is almost difficult to comprehend and could end up being the largest mega project in all of history. Doubts and fears will always remain along with terrible overspending habits, as the biggest fear of BRI is being in the debt trap that might be dangerous for developed state. Risk has been taken for the better changes, especially in economy, which it could be a luck or catastrophe. Moreover, fear towards change, but it's easy to fear change when we look down from our ivory towers. If the BRI reaches its projected conclusion, the world could well be forever altered with a serious rebalancing of power on the cards as far as the positives and negatives of this go well. Thank you, that's all from me.